Night 1 of The Bachelorette has come and gone, and as always, the Bachelor gods have gifted us a brand spanking new preview for the season, so it's time for us to get our detective caps and magnifying glasses out and begin to take a long look at this preview and see what juicy details we can pick out. Now, if you haven't checked out my Night 1 recap yet, I highly recommend doing so as I go over my Night 1 picks for who I think will be the final 4 and who will ultimately be winning Hannah's heart and the final rose. But enough talk, preview time. And be sure to stick around for the end as I have a prediction on what's going down during the major drama at the end of this preview.
Oh my freak!
Hey, my buns are out too.
We start off with Garrett and Hannah on a one-on-one getting some skin-on-skin time. Didn't take long for that censor bar to show up, so this definitely looks like a European lift, and if you pause here, we can see the writing on the lift worker's jacket, which looks to me like it spells instructor, which in this spelling is Polish for, well, instructor or trainer. So it looks like Garrett and Hannah are on a one-on-one in Poland. Now, normally I would say this is huge for Garrett, as they usually don't head to European locales until later in the season, but in an earlier preview, Chris Harrison mentioned this season the group is going worldwide, meaning this year, the one-on-one that we're seeing here could be the middle of the season for all we know. So I'm not entirely convinced on Garrett. I also believe Garrett is going to be going home on a 3-on-1. I'll tell you why in a bit.
How do y'all feel in your kilts, huh?
Hannah's about...
Here we get a great shot of Dylan, Grant, Kevin, Connor, Peter, Garrett, Tyler, and Tyler Jr. So yeah, this group date with a number of men on it seems like middle of the season, and yet they're already in a European location, Scotland.
She's not an actress, she's not a movie star, she's just a real girl that's looking for love.
Ooh.
I want a tough.
I previously thought this was Tyler, but now we're getting a new angle and I'm thinking this is Peter. The wooden sauna they're in also makes me think European locale, but that's a gut call.
Man, someone I know can grab a hold of me and be like, that's my woman, roar, baby.
Oh yeah, these abs are Tyler's. I'd recognize those anywhere. Nah, we know this because of the next shot. Same shorts.
Oh my God.
An early group date is leaving John Paul Jones with some labor pains. I guarantee you this is in America, and not just because Jason Biggs is doing a celebrity appearance, but because of the way they spell labor. L-A-B-O-U-R is the UK and European English spelling.
Why do you have a rubber? What do you think is going to happen in this car
You put that
ride?
in there. Stop, that's so bad.
What is wrong with me?
Peter with a one-on-one and Hannah's giving him a teasing. And there's Jed on a one-on-one too.
Holy ham, I'm in Amsterdam. I am loving this.
So we can add Amsterdam to our list of Bachelor worldwide tour locations.
Oh my goodness, look at that.
Love is definitely in the air, and we're right there on the same page.
Jed here with a second one-on-one. We know this because in my sleuthing report we learned Jed and Hannah have a one-on-one in Boston, and I don't know everyone, something about this pic just doesn't seem like Boston.
My boy's wicked smart.
I truly can see a life with you.
My heart right now is like just filled with happiness.
This is it. This is what it's supposed to feel like.
So this one-on-one Peter has with Hannah is different from the car one-on-one. She's got a different outfit and he has the same jacket but a different shirt. I will say there's a possibility that this is from some sort of group date, but yeah, big positive edit here for Peter. I'm liking his chances.
Really, honestly, I'm falling hard for you.
That we could build our dreams together.
I want to hear you say
I
that.
do care. I see myself at the end of this getting down on one knee.
Tyler with a one-on-one in the Netherlands.
I felt that spark and that connection. I knew I was falling in love.
Damn, you could cut that sexual tension with a knife.
In my previous extended trailer breakdown, I mentioned that this person saying I was falling in love wasn't necessarily Connor, as we didn't see him actually saying it, and at that point, I couldn't recognize him by his voice. But yeah, that's Connor. Take note though, there's an edit here for a reason.
I felt that spark and that connection. I knew I was falling in love.
I felt that spark and that connection. We see him mouth those words and then there's a cut in both the footage and the audio. Let's play it back.
I felt that spark and that connection. I knew I was falling in love.
Hear that kind of shift in tone? Very subtle. My gut is telling me that the second audio is from Connor getting dumped. I was falling in love. It would make sense to me that he says this in an interview after going home, and thus why they can't use the actual footage of him saying it, like we get with the footage of him talking about that spark and connection. I was falling in love with her, but now I'm gone. See y'all in paradise.
Damn, you could cut that sexual tension with a knife.
As I mentioned in the preview video, sexual tension is with Luke. Check out the outfit here and here.
Can I kiss me?
Yes.
I'm completely madly in love with her, and the chemistry is undeniable.
So Luke makes it far. I'm just banking that he goes home before hometowns. There's just way too much drama surrounding Luke, and I'm feeling like based off of night one and how she talks in other previews about the men, Hannah's trying to fend off that drama as best she can. So I feel like that's going to be bad for Luke.
When it's real love, there are no boundaries, and I've fallen deeper and deeper in love.
Jed saying in love, not falling, not I could see myself in love, in love. This is in the late game for sure.
And I just saw your face. It was in that moment that I looked at you and I was like, I'm falling in love with you.
They really like to pair this shot of Hannah in red saying she's in love with this shot of Hannah in red making out with Luke, but I don't think she's saying that to Luke. I'm still thinking it's Jed.
This is so up. I would never do that to anybody.
If you're not here for your wife, get the out of here. I can only be true to me. I can only be Cam. I always say ABC, always be Cam.
Ah, now we're on to the white knight gone wrong, Cam. These edits are all over the place. Here he's arguing with Garrett, and then they pair it with Tyler.
Can't reason with a sick mind. Like, you cannot reason with a sick mind.
Then they throw in Dylan calling him a sick mind with this shot, but this could very easily be a fake out. Dylan could be talking about anyone here, and they just cut to Cam, aka the Joker, here. Either way, this edit means Cam's got no chance. He'll be home somewhere by the middle of the season.
We all know that Luke P is an evil, pathological liar.
I was so freaking nervous.
Okay, I don't like Luke, but this is a misleading edit. This shot of him smiling is made to make him look like a psycho, but I have to defend him here. I honestly think he's watching the rugby or Scottish Games thing they're doing and having a good time. He seems like a super sporty guy who'd have fun at this kind of thing, so I think this is honestly him just having fun. There are other reasons to be wary of this guy, and this is not one of them.
I was so freaking nervous. I don't know if I can see it just yet.
Here's another Luke fake out. We know from the pattern on his suit jacket that he's on a one-on-one with Hannah here, so this shot of Hannah crying is not from the same night with Luke.
I don't care what you said to her. I've been nothing but truthful, and you are not gonna mess it up.
Okay, pause here. I'm really feeling like this is from a 3-on-1. Let's take a look at the location, and let me explain why. Alright, Watson, let's get out our Sherlock hats and review. Outside the window here, very European building, and the wallpaper screams it as well. So middle of the season to late, I'd say. There are ample seating for up to 4 people, yet only 2 can be seen. Perhaps 2 others have left for a chat. And let us ponder over this, the table. Ah, now we have some clues. Not only is there food laid out like they do on one-on-one dates, but there are 2 wine glasses, 2 men, and also 2 roses. If this were a 2-on-1 date, there would only be 1 rose. If this were a group date, there would also only be 1 group date rose. So, here we must have a 3-on-1. Makes sense to me as to why Luke is yelling all crazy like that at Garrett. Garrett probably took Hannah aside during his 3-on-1 time and told her bad things about Luke. So, Luke goes off on him. What you said to her, I've been nothing but truthful, you are not going to mess this up. So here's where I think Garrett goes home, and why he didn't fit into my final 4. Even if he manages to get one of those 2 date roses, he snitched. Subconsciously, that always seems to be the kiss of death on this show. I've talked about it a lot before, so I'll just say this. Snitching gets you a nice warm seat in the back of a limo. Might not be that day, but it will happen eventually.
I'm here for Hannah, and don't you ever forget it.
You're violent, you're aggressive, you are a psychopath.
What Mike says here is now focused on second Luke. In the previous preview, it was edited to look like he was talking about Luke P. Either way, second Luke is for sure a villain.
It's crazy. He's literally insane.
I'm obviously struggling.
They edit footage from what appears to be some sort of sporty group date or something over this hallway stuff to make it seem like a fight's happening, but don't let that fake you out. By the way, that's Kevin in the ambulance.
I cannot believe you just said that to me. I don't owe you anything at this point. Do you not understand that?
Alright, here's the big drama reveal.
You don't own me. You don't get to decide what I can and can't do because, first of all, you're not my husband. Even my husband, the person I'm going to be with, is going to allow me to be my own person.
So someone pisses off Hannah real bad. Something about telling her what to do, given the speech about owning her, or having say over her decision making.
I believe that sex was made for a man and a woman in marriage, but I'm having physical relationships and
Pausing here to say they cut to Tyler and Jed here like they're guilty parties or something, but these are fake outs.
Honestly, like, I have had sex. And Jesus still loves me.
Yes, Hannah. Claps all day. So this is the gate jump moment of this season. They put it right at the end of the preview as a cliffhanger to get us all hyped up, just like they did with Colton's fence jumping, which means this is no small-time drama. This is the big leagues. So I'm going to go out on a limb here and say this is Luke P's exit. He's been all over the previews and promos, and he's obviously got Hannah's attention. We know they connect, and we know he makes it far, even if that worries us. So I'm thinking whatever gets said or done is by Luke, and Hannah's heart is going to be broken in a major way. If not Luke, it'll be one of the other major players in the season, and thus all the huge drama. So, wow, there's our season preview. Gotta say, I've been impressed with Hannah so far, and I can't wait to see how everything turns out. I'll be back next week with another recap and preview breakdown, and be sure to follow me on Twitter, as I live tweet the show every Monday. Until next video, Bachelor Fan Take out.
I have had sex. And Jesus still loves me.